Hello, welcome. Welcome. This is the global community of adults who are healing CPTSD. My name is Athena, and we have all been showing up here together weekly for about 10 years now, almost 10 years. And it's an honor to be here with you. I guess when you spend 9 or 10 years in a bit of a rhythm, it can go one of two ways. It can either feel mundane and commonplace, or it can be one in which you embrace the comfort of the rhythm. And being here with our community, the trauma healing community, on a weekly basis for so many years is something I truly value, and I cherish it. I want to thank you if this is your very first time clicking on a video on this channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you find this video helpful, it would mean a lot to me if you would like the video, add it to a playlist, share it, or even subscribe to the channel. And if you don't like this video, that's okay too. I'm so honored that I got just a moment to be here, and I do hope that you are taking good care of yourself as you are healing CPTSD, and you are seeking peace and compassionate witnessing and acknowledgement and validation and empathy. It is so important for us to claim or reclaim peace and the power of choice. So many of us have gone through so many circumstances where we were looking to feel and experience peace, or we were hoping to experience a moment of peace, and yet we did not experience that peace. And so many of us in this community have been looking to feel as though we have access to tools and choices. And for so long, perhaps that was not possible. So in today's time that we have together, we are going to talk about finding peace in the smallest of ways. And we're going to talk about reclaiming the power of choice. I'm going to pause for just a moment and warmly welcome those who are here for our live discussion. And also, before I do that, I want to say thank you very much to each and every one of you who have reached out to me personally. Yes, I am safe, and yes, my family is safe. And that is all I will be sharing about anything personal that's going on in my own life. Yes, I am safe, and yes, my family is safe. There are so many who are not safe with regard to the wildfires that are going on in Maui. I am safe, and my family is safe, and I do appreciate each and every one of you so much. So a warm welcome to you, Nadine and Kate and John Harvey and Carrie and Ninja Taco and Jennifer and Midnight Blue. So honored to be here with each and every one of you. Thank you very much for being here. If I somehow missed you and I didn't greet you by name, I assure you it was not intentional. I simply did not see you. Thank you so very much for being here tonight, and a very special thank you to John Harvey and Ninja Taco. Really appreciate you helping to moderate the chat stream and keep this a safe space for our community. As always, I will describe my setup for you. I am sitting in a different workspace than I usually am, and I do have a glass of water nearby, and we will be doing some deep breathing. We will be doing our devotional and meditation with Morgan Harper Nichols, our healing strategy with Dr. Ariel Schwartz, and our Loving the Self affirmation with Lisa A. Romano. I have a pillow supporting my posture, and I'm very, very grateful for the time that we get to spend together tonight. If you'd like to breathe along with me, we will take a few deep breaths together. I will count you into your first breath and your last breath. We will breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and breathe out for 4 counts. And we will do that 4 times. I'll count you into the first one, and I'll count you in and out of your last breath. And the middle 2 breaths, I encourage you to breathe however feels most comfortable to you. Let us begin. Inhale in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. On your own now. Again, on your own now. Last time, together now. Inhale in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Oh, how did that feel? How did that feel for you? Just want to check in with you. Sometimes experiencing peace can feel impossible or unmanageable, and sometimes peace can feel a little bit scary because we are so used to feeling unsure about our environment. We're so used to the hypervigilance that comes along with complex trauma. It's important for us to know that it is very, very common for us to struggle with feelings of peace. It can feel triggering to feel calm. All it takes is one look at the power and control wheel online. You can look that up, an image called the power and control wheel. It describes the abuse cycle and how right before the pattern and cycle of abuse begins, there is calm and there is peace. And so what this does to our nervous system, it trains our nervous system to simultaneously hold the idea of peace while bracing ourselves for the impending doom or trauma which we have been enduring. So it's extremely common, especially with CPTSD, for us to feel afraid of peace. And it is extremely common for us to feel as though the power of choice is not something that we have access to because of the abuse cycle. Again, all it takes is one glance at the power and control wheel, the abuse cycle, to recognize why peace feels triggering and why the power of choice feels out of reach. Okay? Please be extra gentle with yourself. Please be patient with yourself. Please be kind with yourself as we read through our resources tonight. In this week's resource with Morgan Harper Nichols, our devotional and meditation, Morgan is encouraging us to be proud of our progress, even while we are still on our healing journey. She's also reminding us that courage may come more naturally to us than we think, particularly if we are used to the high highs and the low lows of the abuse cycle. Whatever relationship brought you to this YouTube channel for CPTSD Foundation, whatever repeated relational trauma, dysfunction, neglect, or abuse brought you to this place for a weekly time of check-in together with the community, just know that you're not alone. And it is very common to struggle with feelings of peace and the power of choice. Morgan says, amidst all that is unknown, there is still room to ask ourselves this question. What does it look like to find peace right now, even in the smallest of ways? Perhaps finding peace could look like giving ourselves permission to breathe through each moment, while also granting ourselves permission to be honest with ourselves about what we are feeling. Perhaps this could also look like giving ourselves permission to take breaks whenever we feel the need to take a break, because we are aware that even when it comes to important matters, we will be able to concentrate more effectively with a mind that is clear and well rested. Perhaps permitting ourselves to take a nap, even when we are having trouble convincing ourselves that we deserve a nap. Perhaps this is what peace could look like. Or having the freedom to set our own limits and boundaries. Or giving ourselves permission to view taking long, slow breaths as a form of self-care. Perhaps even this could be a first step. I love that the chat box is filled with different ideas of what peace look like. I love this for meditations, music. I love this. Thank you so much for sharing, you all. Giving ourselves permission to consider different activities such as drinking water, stretching, going outside for some air, and, of course, listening to music. These are all indications that we are present in this life. Permitting ourselves to work toward maintaining peace and tranquility on a community level for the sake of others and for ourselves, because we recognize how vital it is that more people have room to breathe in their personal lives. Please let this be the time of your life when you make the conscious decision to believe that finding peace right here, right now, doesn't have to look a certain way. And it is also okay if the way you pursue peace each day changes day by day. What matters most is that you are making the effort to seek peace every day, even in the smallest of ways. I love that. Does that feel spacious for you? Taking a deep breath, perhaps taking a nap, getting outside, listening to some music. Which one of these choices feels most spacious to you? We're going to transition now to our healing strategy. And again, this healing strategy is on reclaiming the power of choice. The symptoms of CPTSD can leave us feeling flooded with emotion, can leave us feeling overwhelmed. It is easy to lose sight of the sense or power of choice about whether or when we think about our trauma. A valuable healing strategy for us to consider is to reclaim the power of choice and control. In this practice, we will give ourselves the option to put away or contain our disturbing thoughts, feelings, emotions, and memories. Now, often this requires that we make an agreement with ourselves to consciously set aside the time to heal our childhood trauma. For example, we do not want to think about and process our traumatic memories when we are at work or while we are parenting our children. However, an appointment with our therapist or a weekly meetup group like this is a great place and time where you could perhaps think about addressing the trauma of your past and moving a little step forward in your healing. Let us take some time to explore two approaches to the healing strategy of reclaiming the power of choice. Approach number one, make a verbal agreement with yourself that you will attend to your traumatic memories at the right time and in the right space, such as with your therapist or in a weekly group like this. Mentally, give yourself permission to not think about your traumatic past while you're at work or with your children. Take several deep breaths, reminding yourself that you have the power of choice as to whether or when to think about any distressing memories from your past. Now, approach number two. This is our second option. So, if we notice that disturbing feelings, images, emotions, or sensations continue to intrude, then perhaps consider giving yourself permission to write about your distress. You could set a timer for a few minutes, perhaps even 10 to 15 minutes. Dr. Ariel Schwartz, in her book, Compassionate Guide to Healing Childhood Trauma for Complex PTSD, she recommends 10 to 15 minutes to write down what comes to mind for us. So we can set a timer, and Dr. Ariel Schwartz says, when the timer goes off, pause and acknowledge that it's time to close your journal. And know deeply that these upsetting memories can be held safely inside your journal until you return to trauma therapy or your weekly group. And remember, please, all new behaviors become easier with practice. You can return to this healing strategy of reclaiming the power of choice as often as you need until you begin feeling that you have more of a sense of choice about whether or when to think about the trauma. So how does that feel for you? I know we are 20 minutes in and we have done our devotional and meditation with Morgan Harper Nichols, and we just did our healing strategy with Dr. Ariel Schwartz. How is this feeling for you? Does it feel possible to be able to experience peace in a way that feels helpful and supportive? Do you feel as though you may be able to reclaim the power of choice? Oh, I want to pause and warmly welcome you, Jeffrey Sherman. Hello, warm welcome to you, Angela. Hello to anyone else I didn't greet by name. If I skipped over you, I assure you it was unintentional. It's wonderful to see each and every one of you. Truly. We are going to move into our time of affirmation with Lisa A. Romano. She does have a book that you can download for free on her website called Loving the Self Affirmations. Morgan Harper Nichols has a free weekly email that she sends out, which is where I read and find these devotionals and meditations for you. You can find her at the Storyteller Co. Again, her name is Morgan Harper Nichols. And then Dr. Ariel Schwartz has a blog where she has hundreds of healing strategies, all for healing complex PTSD. Okay? I always want to make sure you have access to the resources that we offer. Let me see if I can get a link to today's resources so that you can access them. See if this will come through. There should be 3 links that came through. Let me see. Nope. That one, let me see if I can remove that one. That's the wrong one. I'm going to remove that one. And let's see if this will work. That way it separates. I'm trying to separate each one of the resources so that you can access them easily. Let's see if this will work. How about that? The storytellerco.com blog is the first one. Lisa A. Romano's free book, Loving the Self-Affirmation, is the second one. And the third resource is Dr. Ariel Schwartz. Okay? I hope you enjoy those resources. Oh, you're so very welcome. I'm sending you all safe hugs. We will end our time together with our Loving the Self affirmation. Lisa says, I wish I knew that spontaneity was good, normal, and a sign that a child felt happy, safe, and at home in their body, mind, and soul. As a child, my siblings and I were expected to behave like soldiers. Spontaneity was frowned upon. Silliness was reprimanded. Feeling light was routinely diminished by my parents' desire for emotional control. I am working hard at getting back in touch with the inner child who never felt free enough to be a child. Today, I will help my inner child to know and believe that they do not have to be afraid of not being perfect. I love that. We don't have to be perfect. We get to just be messy. We get to just be messy. I hope this time together has felt nourishing for you and that you are able to access peace and the power of choice because you're worth it. I look forward to seeing you here next Monday and every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, or over in our community where we have 2 calls a day every day that are very similar to this. And we also have a chat feature where it's kind of like our chat box here, and it's 24/7. It's on a private server. It's away from social media. And there's a link in the description section. There's also a link in the chat box in the pinned comment. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Good night, everybody.